Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jody After the Show podcast, which is brought to you by Factor Pre-Prepared Meals. Sam has a really cool code to give you at the end of the podcast. It'll save you money, and you can try it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Earlier, Christine had sent us the email asking, she says, hey, I recently started listening to you guys. We shared this in the show that she was very curious about how the three of us got together, what we were like when we were younger and getting together at first, what kind of dates Jodi and Murphy went on. That was the question. And then who asked who out, and what was Sam like? So that's a lot of questions, Christine.
That's a whole lot.
I will say that you did ask me out. It just wasn't under the umbrella of a date, Murphy.
No,
it wasn't. Asked me to lunch.
And I actually I don't really remember that.
I do.
Well, I don't remember the first time I asked you to lunch. You do?
I do.
Oh, really?
Because you were the boss, and the boss asked you to lunch, and nobody else is coming. You're like, I wonder what this is.
So what was it?
But I suspected that you liked me because of the way you were acting.
Did I act that way at that lunch? I'm sorry that I don't remember.
It's okay. I don't care that you don't remember. Yeah. I know you. I know your memory.
Well, because,
I know your memory.
My view of our relationship, and I do want to talk about me and because Sam and I were together first.
I know.
Yeah.
I know the bromance is still strong, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But I always felt like because we were working together, it just kind of evolved.
It did. We were friends.
There was nothing that was conscious about any of it. And in fact, I think, remember, leading up to the point where I proposed to you, I didn't really propose.
No, you didn't propose.
I mean, it was so comfortable. I just kind of graduated into, well, let's do this. Let's get married.
It's not that I bring that up.
It's not that I was not trying to be romantic or anything like that. You know?
Yeah.
But, it's so, coming after a divorce and all that kind of stuff, you're not getting right back into you know what I'm saying? It's that. Round 2, as Sam can tell you.
I could tell you about round 3 and 4.
Right, exactly. It's a little bit different. So, but I never really meant for it to be too casual for you. You know what I mean?
It wasn't too casual for me. I will take you there if you want to know. You're going on and on. I'm trying to tell you about our first date.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here justifying.
Yeah. You asked me out to lunch at a cafe not far from here where we used to go eat a lot.
Okay.
One of your wives worked there, Sam.
Yeah.
Long time ago. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
She didn't work there when we went to lunch, but she'd worked there before.
Oh, really?
And you took me here's what's up. You took me to lunch, and I thought we were going to be talking about some work stuff. I think you said promotions we were going to talk about.
Uh-oh.
And then we
Was it like when you want to go talk about promotions? Yeah,
and then we
it.
didn't. You literally wanted to talk to me about personal stuff. You literally said, I'm not really here to talk to you about promotions.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, you sure did.
Why do I not remember any of this?
It's okay. I don't care. It's because it's been a long time ago, and probably because you and I were trying to keep it on the friendly. Now it wasn't. You weren't throwing the moves out.
Okay, good.
You and I were becoming friends.
I mean, I'm not a move thrower like that. You know what I mean?
I was going to ask for a description of the moves.
We'll get to the moves. The moves happened in the early mornings here, long time ago.
Did they?
Yeah. I remember. Women remember this sort of stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Women just do, which is a good. If I remember it, it means it mattered to me.
Yeah.
So props to you because it mattered to me when you took me to lunch at that cafe and we were sitting in a little corner table for two and you said, I didn't really bring you here to talk about promotions. I wanted to talk to you about, this, and this, life. And it was very sweet. You had become very comfortable with me and you were talking to me about your life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very precious. It was very beautiful, honest moment. And I remember thinking, oh gosh, we're friendly. We're going to be friends. And we were friends for a very long time.
We were.
And then when it switched from me, and I know it must have switched for you too, it was downstairs one morning early. It was still dark. When we arrive here, it's dark. You said, hey, before we go up.
You want to sneak into the bushes?
You were already upstairs.
Before we go up and get around Sam.
So wait, am I about to throw some moves?
Well,
you said?
You said I want to give you a hug. And it was the first time we ever embraced.
Okay.
You remember that? Do you remember saying I want to give you a hug?
I think I do.
Women remember this stuff.
Oh my God, I feel like an idiot. I feel like a bad husband.
No, you don't need to feel. I don't care. Am I that girl? Do I hang things over your head?
No.
Absolutely not. You are 100% human, and I know it. I don't care that you don't remember that.
But that's a poignant moment. You would think I would remember that.
I bet you remember your first with Sam, your first hugs and stuff. Anyway, it was just delicate, a delicate, here's why it was so delicate for me. You and I maybe have never talked about this much. It's not about my ex. It's not about you having exes. It was not about any of that. It was that I had finally found something I really wanted to do with my life, a career, and I knew it. Mm-hmm. When I was in here working with you guys, I knew. It was like learning to ride a bike. Like I felt like I belonged. And I'm thinking, am I really going to get personal with this guy and not be able to do this? Like I was at war with myself inside of my heart and head because
you thought if you and Murphy got close, you would have to step away from this?
I totally did.
Oh.
In fact, when he threw out more of the moves and it got more and more serious.
In the dark before work.
Yeah, so apparently my moves encompass, can I give you a hug? I don't know what
that's a correct thing to ask.
Yes.
When it got closer and closer, when we got closer and closer and it got serious, we did take our general manager to lunch and say, hey, we want to get married. What should we do? It's before you knew, Sam. We had to ask. His name is Chris.
Yeah.
And we took him to lunch. Same cafe. Took him to lunch.
So you asked him, but you didn't ask. Okay, go ahead. You checked with him first, but not with me?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
I thought I was going to have to lose my job. I thought I was going to
He was our boss. You weren't.
Anyway, I honestly thought, well, there's no way they're getting rid of Murphy. Murphy's too valuable around here. I'm going to have to either have Murphy in my life or have a career I want. It's a good thing you really showed up. It's a good thing you really... Anyway, remember what he did? It was a Friday afternoon. We told him we want to get married. He said... Let me think about what we're going to do. Let me think about it. He made us sweat for the weekend.
Oh, good.
And by the time Monday good, huh? By the time Monday came around, he said, work together, share it on the air. And I'm like, of course. And what else did he do? He put Sam in charge of me instead of you on paper.
Thanks.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. So that I wouldn't be, answering to my husband, vice versa.
And it wasn't just on paper, Sam. Really.
Oh, okay, that's true.
It really is that.
It's true. You're right.
You're a direct report to me, but not to him.
That's correct.
Even though you're sitting 3 feet away from him.
That's correct.
It's an indirect report.
You know what? The reason that gets blurred to me, it's not respect. I respect you both so much. That gets blurred to me because of how we collaborate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
in this room, it's right.
So sorry. Anyway, that's how we began. And then when we were excited about that news, the next person
Now,
was
what are we
Sam.
going to do about Sam?
And we took you to lunch. Different place, Mexican place. Do you remember?
Yeah, me and our friend Rick.
Yes.
Oh, you remember that?
Yeah.
I remember taking you. I didn't remember Rick going
I
with
remember
us.
that because I thought this was going to be, hey, we're dating.
Yeah, you
This
said
was
that.
going to be like the secret that, hey, we're dating.
Could you tell we were getting close?
I figured it. And that's what I figured you were going to tell. But it's like you, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You went past the date and, hey, yeah, look, we're getting married. And I was like, wait, you're supposed to date first. Well, we have been. What?
On the low. Dating on the low. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that freak you out?
A little.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's not.
I had no idea.
It's not your problem. It wasn't a problem. It's just like, oh, well, we left over a
We
step.
leapt.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand
In your-
that.
in
I
your
can-
mind.
It was like
left.
either way, it was going to be an announcement or an unveiling. It just was a bigger unveiling than I thought it was.
Well,
Sure.
and I think because it was and still is to this day very important that we keep things professional and the lines, even though the lines I know have been
They do get blurred.
challenging
those
over
lines
the
are
years.
more blurred.
Right, I know, but that was the way that we intended all that to be. Well, your memory of that is much clearer than mine.
That's fine.
I just remember it always being that it was really tough to explain because the more that we were just together in the same room or whatever, there was so much that was unspoken that it was almost uncanny to me that
It was unspoken.
it was
like, oh, this is
like somebody you've
found
known
each other.
forever, but you haven't. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So and
So that was the first hug. When was the first kiss?
Oh, I remember.
oh my God,
This will be even
Of course,
better.
she remembers that too.
This is really personal, though.
Okay.
You don't remember it really? Because I do.
God, I feel like an idiot
Well, if
here.
it's
I don't remember.
Too personal. Do it in vague terms.
It was in his car,
Oh.
It was?
not far from here.
Right after he reached over and locked the doors?
Really? Yeah.
It was in your car, not far from here.
Okay.
As part of a date or just?
We didn't have a lot of dates, remember?
Hmm.
We had a lot of lunches.
Yeah.
No, it was not part of a date. I think it was like you were going for the weekend, you had work or something, and I was going to see my mom, and it was like kiss in the car, in your black Prelude.
Okay.
Remember?
Oh,
I do
wow,
remember that. I
that's
remember
way
the car. Yeah.
He used to take me driving in that car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me too.
So was it a good kiss?
Yeah, it was good. Honestly,
I
guess
don't
what?
remember.
That's
it.
a legitimate question
Yeah,
right
right.
there.
Let me welcome you to the world of women. If it wasn't a good kiss, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Really?
That's true. Yeah.
Wow,
do you
that
think
can make or
women
break
marry
it?
a bad kisser?
Oh, I
No.
guess not. Yeah.
No. Would you have married a bad kisser? No.
Probably not.
No way. So,
Okay.
do you want to go back before and let's talk about Murphy and Sam then getting together?
What about us?
How Christine wants to know how everything started. What were you like?
You know, it's funny is because when we first started together working on the radio, Murphy was the guy, the host, and I was the news guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There was no show
all
really.
of
It
this
was
ha ha ho ho Sam wasn't there.
So
I
crazy.
had to get on once or twice an hour and do the news, and then that was it.
But you were in person. You absolutely were that
ho, ho.
person.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you know it just
Became a show.
all right. Well, let's try this. Well, let's try this, and it was like it's okay for the news guy to make jokes.
Yeah.
And can you imagine if you had never stepped your toe in that water because you are made for this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Made
Yeah.
for it.
and I
Well-
didn't have that until it was a partnership
Sure.
because I wasn't the. You know, the times when I have hosted alone, it's like I can try a joke, but it's just like
No, it's not the same.
Yeah. It
it's
doesn't.
not the same. You try to
Right.
make yourself laugh, or it's like, did that go over? I don't know. Nobody's here to laugh.
Yeah. Right. Well, and it's at some point they finally somebody opened the door to say, because back at that time the news person couldn't be the funny guy. The news
Right.
person had to be the news person only. And eventually, I don't know where that just started to transition.
I love that
But-
transition because human beings can be serious and joke. In fact, they need the balance.
Well, so, you know, when I first met Sam, it was the same way that it is with everybody else. At first, you think he doesn't like you.
Yeah.
He is, because that
That's
is
the
kind
vibe.
of, it wasn't intentional.
Good, it works.
It was his discomfort, but I, misread that. But I can tell you that once we started having, regular lunches and things like that, those lunches were epic. They were always epic lunch.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Every
Things
time.
we can't talk about. Epic.
Every single time we went to lunch, there was always something funny that was happening. There was, it was
good
either
idea.
something that the server had done or somebody, a
Yeah.
patron was doing.
Not even a good idea. Just what Murphy's saying. That
Yeah.
the cashier said something, or somebody cleaning the table, or somebody at the table next to us. Remember that time at the table next to us, the lady or the man that had the whistle? They would talk.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, get up, get up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember
And it's
you
like,
guys.
do you hear that? Do y'all
Right.
hear that?
Right.
You weren't with us for that one.
I
Jerry.
know.
Everything
But
I
it was
wasn't
just
there
like
yet.
He had-
every time and it was like the meeting just went away because
Yeah,
it was
it
a
did.
laugh fest.
Because this guy had just enough of a gap between his teeth that everything was a whistle. It was,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
but,
a sign
the one
that
that-
you guys were meant to sort of work together because you.
I kind of share one that may be a little bit disturbing too.
Sure.
Although this is the kind of stuff that, again, Sam and I always managed to encounter. It had to be the kind of thing that when you would try to tell somebody else, it's like, no, look, I'm not kidding you.
This really happened.
Right. So we were eating at a restaurant one time, and there was a person sitting. This is back when people could still smoke in restaurants.
Yes.
The good
And-
old days.
And I don't mean this to be disturbing, but some
I already
people
know
might
where
find
this
it
one's
this way.
going.
I know.
was-
I remember this story.
There was somebody who was smoking, who probably shouldn't have been smoking because
Probably.
they also had a trach, a tracheotomy. And so they would, he would put one finger on the, and then there's the
hole.
cigarette or whatever, and then the smoke would come out of both places. And it was,
You were
it was
facing this.
freaking.
You were facing this, or Sam was facing it. Which one of you
Doesn't matter.
were looking at
It
it?
doesn't matter because what would generally happen is if one person saw something that would throw the other person off,
Yeah.
it would be because it was like turn around and you wouldn't say anything.
It was at a buffet, and so it was
Right.
like, well, I need to get up and get another plate right now,
Right.
so I can see what's
And again,
going on.
Right. And I don't want, again, not being judgmental on that, but you don't see that every day, right?
No.
And so,
No.
Anyway.
Unforgettable.
It's
we're
like
also-
a three-ring circus follows us around.
I know.
Right, exactly. And so it would be the constant, we would just lose it. Almost wherever we were,
I know. I remember.
I mean, that would happen to us when we were having to host, pageants. And-
That's why I sit between you
I know.
when we go to funerals or church. I always sit between you guys, and I always will. The last funeral we went to, the first one we ever went to together, I have to sit between you guys. Otherwise, I can't bring you anywhere. And that's fine. I love this because this is my takeaway. Murphy remembers his lunches with you more than he does with me. And he used the word epic.
Yes.
Now, I want you guys to kiss.
Oh.
All right, tell us about Factor. Bring it.
All right. Well, actually, I need to ask you about Factor because you're getting yours this week, right?
I'm so excited. I got an email this morning. Jodi, your Factor meals are on the way. In fact, they arrive at your doorstep today.
And what you did was make it easier than easy because with Factor you get 35 meal choices a week. You can pick however many you want. Or you can say, I don't feel like thinking about it. Just get me the chef's choice.
That's what I did.
And that's what you did. So it's going to be like Christmas when you get yours.
It's
You
going to
don't
be
even
Christmas tonight because I have to cook 2 minutes in the microwave. I'm just hopeful there's not cilantro in a lot of this because then I'm going to have to bring you a Factor meal tomorrow.
Some of them do have cilantro, but it's pretty good. And if the chef's choice is not your way, if you're on a keto plan right now or you're watching calories, you can get those plans pre-made and just sent right to you because a dietitian approves all these, so you're going to get something that sticks to a real keto plan. And right now, you get a discount because we have the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi in factormeals.com. Use the code MSJ50. MSJ50, that gets you 50% off your first box, 20% off your second box, which you will be ordering, Jodi, because I guarantee you're going to want a second box.
I believe that I will too.
Factormeals.com.
Thank you for being a sponsor of the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.